Hey guys, it's Chance Futrell here with Housing Partners Land and Farm. So I grew up on a farm here in McCracken County, Lone Oak, and actually still live next door to it today. So I went to St. John's Elementary until 5th grade. 6th grade is when I moved to Lone Oak Middle School, and then I ended up graduating Lone Oak High School in 2003. Met my wife, Kirsten. She's from Carlisle County, born and raised in Cunningham. We've been married now for 12 years. We've got 2 kids, Nolan, he's 10, and I've got a little girl, Madeline, that's 6 years old. I was able to buy the farm that joined my parents and build a house, and now we're getting to raise our family, and now my kids get to run around on the same ground that I did growing up. My mom and dad had 80 acres in McCracken County in the Mayfield Creek bottoms, so that's where I grew up, helping my dad. We always had a big garden. When I was a kid, Dad would raise soybeans and milo. Of course, I was too little to be a part of it, but I was out there in barefoot playing in the mud, I'm sure, every chance I could get, as well as being in the garden. From the time I was a little bitty boy, me and my brother, I can remember some of our best memories. Running through the sprinkler with my dad and mom out in the garden, running through the mud, getting mud all over our feet. We would plant sunflowers or do wheat every year for a dove field. We had a big dove shoot every year, and that's been one of my most fond memories of hunting on our property. So my whole life I have been around farms. Also, I've been around construction my whole life. My dad and both my granddad were both plumbers. That's what they did their whole career. So in 6th grade I started helping my dad do plumbing. That was my summer breaks. And at the time, you can imagine a 6th grader, that wasn't what I had in mind for my days off, nor my summer breaks. But looking back now, my parents pushing me to do that and making me do that was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and opened my eyes up for what hard work's all about. I helped him all through high school. Any spare time I had, I helped a local farmer too, and also helping Dad around our farm. A good friend of mine, his family was farmers, so I would help them. I would drive the auger wagon when they were combining wheat, corn, soybeans. Also, we would do straw every year, so I really enjoyed helping them. When I got 18, I went and took my plumbing license test, got my journeyman plumbing license, and started my own business doing that. Mainly just did new construction, small commercial and residential. I was always outdoors, either working, farming, hunting. That's my true passion. That's what I love. That's me. Anybody that knows me, that's what they would tell you. That's one thing I love to do. When me and Kirsten, we haven't been married very long, and that's when I was working at the plant in West Paducah. I found out that I was going to get laid off out there, actually. She told me she was pregnant, and the farm that joins my mom and dad that I always wanted, of course the owner called right in the middle of all that chaos and said they were going to sell the farm. So I'll never forget telling Kirsten we were going to buy the farm, and she thought I was crazy. And looking back, yeah, I can see why she did think I was crazy, but I had talked to my dad about it, and he said, well, you got to do it. There's no way you could turn it down. So I had to think about that. How am I going to make it work? But looking back now, it was the right decision. It all came together. I was able to buy about 60 acres right there that joins my parents. And it had 2 fields on it that was just completely growed up in trees, saplings. It was just a thicket is all it was. So I knew when I got the place that I wanted to be able to clear those fields and get them back to where I could row crop them again, as well as I wanted to build a duck hole. So it worked out where my duck hole would join my dad's. We added on to levees, drilled a well, got in there and cleared all those trees. And we've been planting it corn, flooding corn. We've built new duck blinds down there, and we've just got to where we can really enjoy it. And it's right out our back door. My kid loves to hunt. So that's really been special to me, being able to buy the farm next to where I grew up and plant my roots there now, watch my kids grow up and enjoy it with my wife and kids. For the last several years, we've been planting corn. Dad had pigs. We acquired a few more other properties right there close to where we live and row crop them. After a little while of doing that, I've always loved everything about real estate. I've always been around homes, of course, working on them, and farms. That's the two things that I've always really loved. I had hit Kevin up about joining forces with him and seeing about getting into real estate, and me and Kevin, we talked about it a little bit, but it just kind of died, fizzled out, never went anywhere. And a little bit of time went by, and Kevin reached out to me, which I've known Kevin most of my whole life and grew up very close to where he used to live as well. But Kevin came to me and hit me up and said that Houseman Partners was actually fixing to expand and do a land and farm division, and he thought that I would be a good fit for it. So immediately I was very excited and kind of overwhelmed all at the same time, because I didn't know what all that entailed. Me and my wife, we talked about it, and we figured out pretty quick we thought that was a good choice. So I went to work, got with Kevin and Jessica, and they told me where I needed to go to take all my classes and all that. I've had my real estate license for about 5 years now, working with Kevin and Jessica with Houseman Partners. I haven't looked back ever since, and it has truly been a blessing to me. I mean, honestly, it's like a dream, because I love doing it. I love meeting the people that I come into contact with through real estate, whether it's buying a house and property, or getting to go show a farm, or just getting to talk to people about real estate. That's one of the biggest things that I've enjoyed since I've got to do this. It's not about making a sale all the time or getting a new listing. When your phone rings every day and you don't know that number, you don't really know what you're fixing to get into. And that's one thing I really love about it, is every day's a little bit different. Everybody always says you need to be happy when you go to work. That way it's not work. And I think that's one of the truest statements I've ever heard. Getting to hang out with Kevin and getting to hang out with all the rest of the Houseman crew truly it's great.